Contact 0999 957 120 or 0212 556 076. In Lilongwe, we are at Musonkamanja CCAP Falls Estate. Contacts 0999 599 504 or 0212 600 033. You can also email us on pact.collegemw@gmail.com or visit our website at www.pactschoolmw.com. Choose Pact. Choose quality. Choose success.
Thank you for joining us in this newscast. You're with me, Robert Kalua. Let's have a look at the headlines. MDF commander risks contempt charges in a land dispute with residents at Njewa in Lilongwe. Health Ministry bemoans lack of quarantine and isolation facilities in the borders to contain new COVID-19 cases. Typhoid fever cases now at 51 with 5 deaths in Neno as authorities call for support to combat the outbreak. And elsewhere, WHO Director General speaks about personal pain over worsening conflict in his home country, Ethiopia. Now the news in detail. Malawi Defence Force Commander General Vincent Nundwe faces contempt charges and a possible arrest in a land dispute between villagers of Chilota at Njewa and the MDF Air Force Department. A lawyer representing the villagers, Enoch Chibwana, has told Zodiak he has written to the Attorney General to act within 7 days by way of advising the MDF against forceful acquisition of land next to the old airport. MDF spokesperson Major Paul Chipanya admitted that the land belongs to the villagers, but they are in discussion with traditional leaders there to acquire the land. Details in this report.
Zodiak understands that the matter started 4 years ago, which prompted the Njewa residents in Lilongwe to obtain a court injunction. The residents felt that they owned the land and that the Malawi Defence Force is encroaching on their property. Now the matter has resurfaced and the residents have written the Attorney General, Chikosa Solungwe, to intervene as there are allegations that some MDF officials are using force to guard the land. Lawyer representing the residents, Enoch Chibwana, has challenged that if the Attorney General fails to intervene on the matter, they will yet again seek legal redress.
We have even written the Attorney General, telling the Attorney General to advise the MDF that that's not the correct position. And we have copied the letter to the Army Commander saying if there will be no change, these people are determined to institute contempt proceedings against the Army Commander, which is very unfortunate if that is going to happen.
However, the Attorney General said that he was not aware of the matter. On the other hand, the MDF spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Paul Chipanya said they are still consulting traditional leaders in the area to acquire the land to extend the Lilongwe Air Base.
We initiated the consultative meetings with the locals through the traditional leaders around the area for us to acquire the land that is close to the Lilongwe Air Base. You know, Lilongwe Air Base has an airfield, and according to laws, it is prohibited to have residential houses very close to the runway. This is for the safety of the locals themselves and their security.
The allegations that a few days ago some MDF officers visited the area and harassed residents who were cultivating in their fields. For Zodiak in Lilongwe, I'm Christina Chiwota.
Christina Chiwota there with that report. Meanwhile, Ministry of Lands is expected to finalize consultations regarding review of land-related laws by July next year for Parliament to deliberate on amendments required to help resolve the land wrangles. In October this year, President Lazarus Chakwera ordered Minister of Lands to review all land-related laws and present a report to Parliament. Minister responsible, Kezim Sukwes, is however non-committal to disclose progress on the exercise so far, saying consultations with relevant stakeholders have not been finalized. We have a report by Blessings Kangombe.
The Ministry of Land has ventured into land laws review consultations Minister of Lands Kes Msukwa feels the ongoing consultations are key in bringing sanity in land issues in the country. Msukwa says the ministry is expected to present to Parliament a report on the consultations by July next year.
You remember the 2016 laws came into effect, and then those are the laws which we have been using now, and therefore lessons learned from these pilot projects will inform quite a lot on the way we should forge ahead with some of the laws. We will not long from now be able to come to the public and flash out some of the items that we think ought to be in the public domain for debating, after which we should be ready for tabling before Parliament.
Meanwhile, Mzuzu University-based land expert Loudon Luka has urged Minister of Lands to conduct wide consultations.
There is a number of outstanding issues that have been contentious, arising from the passage of the land laws in 2016. Some aspects of the land laws, in this case, we're not talking about the Customary Land Act, but we are talking about the Land Act itself, the Principal Land Act itself, needs to be looked into, facilitate equitable access to land among the societies or the cultural groupings that feel that they have been marginalized or disadvantaged.
In October this year, President Lazarus Chakwera ordered the Ministry of Lands to review all land-related laws and present a report to Parliament for government to ably address the challenge.
Police in Blantyre are investigating Justice Haley Potani of the Supreme Court on allegations that he assaulted a police officer on duty at his residence in Blantyre for unknown reasons. The incident took place on Monday, involving an officer identified as Sergeant Emmanuel Sinda. National Police spokesperson James Kadadzela has confirmed the incident to us, but says the matter is under investigation. The Ministry of Health has bemoaned a lack of COVID-19 institutional quarantine and isolation facilities in the country's borders as scores of Malawians keep returning from South Africa amid effects of the pandemic. Acting Deputy Director of Preventive Health Services in the Ministry of Health, Mavuto Thomas, said during a COVID-19 media interface in Doha that the situation is jeopardizing efforts of tracing contacts of returnees advised to go on self-quarantine. Aunyango Nkoma reports.
Acting Deputy Director of Preventive Health Services in the Ministry of Health, Mavuto Thomas, observed that Malawi returnees from South Africa are posing a threat of further spread of the coronavirus as there are no COVID-19 institutional quarantine and isolation facilities in the country's borders. Thomas says as a result, tracing contacts of COVID-19 suspects has become a problem.
In our port of entries, we don't have quarantine or even isolation facilities that can accommodate maybe a lot of people at once. That's why when you're doing the screening, we are requesting those people that are coming into the country to observe self-quarantine until they get their results for COVID-19.
Meanwhile, Thomas says the Ministry of Health has procured containers that will act as laboratories for COVID-19 screening and testing in the country's borders, as apparently only Mwaza border post has one. Hundreds of Malawians are returning home from South Africa due to economic hardships in the Rainbow Nation that have come due to effects of COVID-19 pandemic. The ministry says over 90% of the new COVID-19 cases are imported, mostly via borders. For Zodiak in Doha, this is Aunyango Nkoma reporting.
Government says Malawians should expect and embrace new type of politics from the Tonse-led administration, which promotes tolerance. Minister of Information, Mr. Gospel Kazako, who is also government spokesperson, was reacting to the meeting between President Lazarus Chakwera and his predecessor Peter Mutharika in Mangochi on Sunday. Some members of the public questioned the rationale of the meeting. Mr. Kazako gives details in this interview with Alex Banda.
In this country, we have got people that are addicted to hate, addicted to negativity, and there are very, very low levels of the dosage of love. Those of us in government now look at the issue of running government as something that all of us must celebrate and must cherish. Politics is not a source of fights, and politics is not a source of hatred. It is actually a competition of ideas. And those with better ideas are elected to go into government so that they can be making decisions. In this case, it is a Tonse Alliance government that has the best ideas at the moment, led by Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, and we are running the affairs in this country. Now, talking about the head of state going to see the former head of state, this is exactly what we are talking about. We need to be running this country with love, and there's no hatred whatsoever. And this country should not be buried under the negative carpet of bad politics, where people fight, where people badmouth each other. No. And now the two leaders have to show that, and you can see that Dr. Chakwera has led that way. So that's how we are running. And what it means then, we are moving towards a positive direction.
You're watching the news on Zodiac. We have more news shortly.
Precious things have a secret formula. While John is busy trying to impress, James discovered Tangu's secret. Tangu uses Purity sanitary products from Purity body wash, Purity hands wash, Purity body lotion to Purity dishwash. After a week of using Purity sanitary products, James won the heart of Tangu. Use Purity sanitary products.
Welcome back, and this evening you're with me, Robert Kalua. Let's have a look at the headlines. MDF commander risks contempt charges in a land dispute with residents at Njewa in Lilongwe. Health Ministry bemoans lack of quarantine and isolation facilities in the borders to contain new COVID-19 cases. Typhoid fever cases now at 51 and 5 deaths in Neno as authorities call for support to combat the outbreak. Moving on with the news, typhoid fever confirmed cases in Neno district have now reached 51 with 5 deaths. Neno District Hospital Public Relations Officer Caroline Banda says the outbreak is likely going to affect more households as some water sources are contaminated. She said the situation needs urgent intervention by all stakeholders. Banda explains.
It is true that the number of confirmed cases of typhoid has shot to 51 as of yesterday evening. And today we are still screening people, so it means that the number of cases will increase. First of all, we started with a field investigation where samples of water were collected, and we focused on Chakulembela village because it is where there are more cases here in Neno. So we took water samples from the village because people are still drinking from the river, the nearby stream. So we took water from the stream and we took 3 samples from households, and all of them were found with salmonella. So it means that the whole village, with the number of 293 households, they are at risk of getting typhoid fever.
Workers at smallholder farmer fertilizer revolving fund of Malawi in Blantyre have down tools over low pay and medical cover, among its other concerns. The representative, Frank Kamenya, says the action has consequently affected distribution of items in the affordable input program. The company's spokesperson, Chiletso Nyirenda, says will respond later on the matter. From Blantyre, our reporter Happy Njelomano sent us this report.
Representative of the disgruntled workers at Smallholder Farmers Fertilizer Revolving Fund of Malawi, Frank Kamenya, says they have been pushing for a maximum of 30% and a minimum of 20% increment, but to no avail. Kamenya adds that about 95 of them are not medically covered, saying they have been asking for reinstatement of an in-house medical cover, but in vain. He says these are just examples of many outstanding grievances they have been fighting for but are yet to be addressed. The workers have therefore staged a sit-in, which Kamenya says has consequently affected distribution of items in the government-sponsored affordable input program.
All the satellite depots in the rural areas, including including the main tables, are at a standstill. So no work is currently being carried out. Every employee must be happy. And you look at employees who are handling a lot of money. You look at the AIB program. If we have got sales clerks, those people handle a lot of money. How can somebody who is handling 20 million for the company, pending the pending banking of such money, how can you give him 60,000 per month? That's a very big temptation. So we were looking, as employees, we are also looking at the risk that our company is currently going through.
The company spokesperson Chireso Nyirenda asked for more time before commenting on the matter.
Now we move to sports. Nyasa Big Bullets Football Club has confirmed that 9 more members of the team have tested positive for COVID-19, pushing the total number of cases at the club to 11. Meanwhile, Super League of Malawi Sulom says the game involving Nyasa Big Bullets and Mighty Wanderers, dubbed Blantyre Derby, will proceed as planned despite the Nyasa Big Bullets registering 11 COVID-19 positive cases. Sulom President Tia Sombabanda told us that the league runners are following national COVID-19 preventive protocol by tracing close contacts, but all games will proceed over the weekend.
Out of the 30-something plus players that were tested, 25 plus players have come out negative, which is a very positive indication that the bullets and also the people are adhering to the measures in terms of the preventive measures. So at the moment, the 7 that have tested positive, they are going through the isolation and all that. And in the end, what will happen is that the 25 plus that have tested negative, they will continue with their normal life. When I say continuing with their normal life, it includes continuing with their day-to-day work. Their day-to-day work, it is playing football. Just like any other institution, when there is a positive case has been recorded, that institution doesn't stop delivering or working, but it continues with those that have tested negative. So it's the same with bullets and it's the same with football. Those that have tested negative, they will continue doing their day-to-day work, which is playing football. So at the moment, I would say bullets will continue business as usual with their trainings and also in preparation for the games ahead of this weekend.
However, Chief Administration Officer for Nyasa Big Bullets, Albert Chigoga, has told us his club has written Sulom requesting for cancellation of the game, which is expected to take place on 2nd January at Kamuzu Stadium.
We are the team which is affected. 9 of our players have been tested positive, and they are in isolation as we are talking about. We understand the procedures in the game of football. When this happened, we communicated to the relevant authorities, informing them of our situation. And to hear that the game is going to proceed, it's not for us to say no, yes, but I think we have presented our case, very deep case that we've presented to them, and we expect that they will be sympathetic enough to consider the situation that Nyasa Big Bullets is in, and if possible, rescind their decision. But I think we always talk to Super League of Malawi. We will amicably handle this situation, considering the current situation that our team is actually in.
In this case, if they say the game has to go ahead, will Bullets proceed to honor the fixture?
Under any circumstances, I don't think in this situation we can play a game of football. Rules and the regulations of COVID-19 are very clear, but you see, you need also to look at the greater good. Okay, Bullets is not afraid to play football. We can play in a team at any time. We are a very big football fan, but we are looking at a situation that has affected this team. We never foresaw this happening. It has happened after we had tested our players, and we expect that someone somewhere should be sympathetic and look at this issue soberly and we make sober decisions. So that's the position that we are in, and that's the position we can present right now.
Across the borders, the Director General of the World Health Organization, WHO, Dr. Tedros Adhanom, has spoken of his personal pain over the worsening conflict in his home country of Ethiopia. At a WHO news conference on Monday, Dr. Tedros said that he did not know the whereabouts of many of his family members, including his younger brother. In November, the Ethiopian military accused Dr. Tedros of trying to get weapons for the Tigray People's Liberation Front, TPLF, which is fighting Ethiopian government forces in Tigray. Dr. Tedros, who served in the government when it was dominated by the TPLF, denied the allegations. Government forces took control of the capital of Tigray on 28th November, but access to and communication within Tigray remains restricted. That's what we had time for in this edition of news, but before we go, another look at the headlines. MDF commander risks contempt charges in a land dispute with residents at Njewa in Lilongwe. Health Ministry bemoans lack of quarantine and isolation facilities in the borders to contain COVID-19 cases. Typhoid fever cases now at 51 with 5 deaths in Neno, and authorities call for support to combat the outbreak. Elsewhere, WHO Director General speaks about personal pain over worsening conflicts in his home country, Ethiopia. My name is Robert Kalua. Log on to our website, zodiacmalawi.com. Remember to seek medical help when you start experiencing COVID-19 symptoms. Good evening.
Nyumba Ichene Promotion.